So this is what's happened thus far here on Court 1, the HSBC BWF China Open 2023. We've had 2 matches so far, both ended in straight game wins for the Chinese players. The first non-Chinese match today with no Chinese representation. Men's singles, Prannoy HS versus Tze Yong of Malaysia. And this is the bracket so far. So this half of the draw. Prannoy and the winner of this, could play either Priyanshu Rajawat or Shesahiran Rustavito, who was promoted from the reserves. Prannoy is one of the in-form players in men's badminton. What a year he is having. And he is really, like fine wine, aging so well. As we see the 2 players come on, and in theory this one, paper at least, looks like it could be a long one. Let's see. First meeting between these 2 players, so an unknown quantity of sorts. He's won about almost 70% of his matches this year. Prannoy, 30 out of 45. And Tze Yong, just over 50%, 17 out of 32. So not nowhere near as good a year as Prannoy has had. That all goes out the window, of course. Coming to a massive tournament like this, be interesting to see how it pans out. As they complete their warm-ups. Delighted to have with me Steen. As we look at Prannoy here, 31 years of age, from the south of India, in Kerala, playing his best ever badminton. He's 6th in the world at the moment. And clearly enjoying himself at 31 years of age. Why not? Tze Yong from Malaysia, 180 from the south of the country in Johor, not far away from his best ever ranking of 20. Tze Yong. Steve, what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, especially given the short time frame from the World Championships, where Prannoy did so well. Has he been able to regroup quickly? And for Tze Yong, I think it's a good chance to get back into action and try to go even better than in the
Xu Yun is the Chinese umpire. Peng Hai-ning is the service judge here. We have 2 Chinese officials for this one, with no Chinese representation on the court. But Prannoy, Steen, I mean, he just seems to be getting better with age, doesn't he? Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
on my right, Tze Yong, Malaysia. And on my left, Prannoy, HS, India. Tze Yong to serve. Love 4. Play. Four.
Nice all action start to this one.
Service of 1 love.
We talked about Prannoy there. Tze Yong is the second highest ranked Malaysian. And he's actually not all that far away from Li Zijia, is he?
2 love.
Yeah, Lee Chong-wei's been very complimentary
Love.
of Tze Yong.
拉准.
And says
拉
he
准.
should make it to the Olympics. So no pressure then. Lee Chong-wei saying stuff like that.
But it's actually interesting. Malaysia, in order to get both Li Zijia and Tze Yong qualified, they both need to be in
Top 16, yeah.
Is it okay? Thank you.
And that has been a bit dicey, hasn't it, for them? Getting in. Right.
Play.
Yes. Now that just clipped him on the face here,
Service
Tze
over.
Yong, the shuttle. And of course, concern being shown by his opponent. There you see, he came to the net, Prannoy. Just depends on where it hit him. Can be a bit sharp. Oh, near the eye, it looks like. He seems okay. Beautifully done, Tze Yong.
Service over. 4.
Steve,
1.
you know, you've been with players for so long now. What is it like for them in the Olympic qualification year? Talking of the Olympics, I mean, how stressful does it get for these guys?
pretty much is the thing that
Right.
5. 1.
Yeah.
watching what your competition is doing, because you're both in competition with all the other players.
Yes.
You're also in competition with your
Right. So does that bring this extra kind of tension in that year?
2. 5.
We've seen it here where players have had many tournaments.
More than they probably wanted? Yeah.
More than they normally should.
Yeah.
Traveling extensively.
Right.
Service over. 6. 2.
Know anything. I think players want to get a good start to this qualification period.
Right.
So if they run into injuries and so on, they still have a lot of points in the bank already.
Right.
Four.
Well, talking of points in the bank, Tze Yong has a nice, healthy lead here already. Early on, 5 up against Prannoy. Confident start from the Malaysian. far too much on that one.
3-8.
From Ung. And he finally breaks that run. A couple of points on the trot here for Prannoy.
8.
Just wants to peg back Ung if he can, who led from the start. Stops that run now for 2 in a row. Tze Yong back to winning ways. Steve, casting your expert eye on this venue, what have you made of conditions here so far?
Well, I think it's playing in terms of
Service over. 5-9.
there is but it's a very large building, so to the ceiling, players, and
Yeah, because it's tight around the court, but a very high ceiling, right?
5. Interval.
So at the break, and Tze Yong, it's a great start for him, 11-5.
Point 1, 20 seconds. Point 1, 30 seconds. 11-5. Play.
So Prannoy here looking to really try and get back into this
11.
after a very bright start from Tze Yong. That's good power from the Indian. There's
7, 11.
Pulela Gopichan, of course, the Indian legend. His daughter, Gayatri, will be playing here in court 1 a little bit later on. If you didn't hear what Steen said earlier, drift is with Prannoy. That might be an example of that. Steve, when we talk about that drift and you're saying it's with him, just for the casual observer who's watching, that means he's got to be a little careful when he pushes through, right?
Thank you.
Very healthy lead here on Tze Yong, 5 points. Bit of frustration there that you can see from Prannoy.
About his strokes, where as Prannoy's got that little filter running, saying, "Hey, I need to be a little bit careful." And he saw it.
There you go, prime example.
14,
Of course,
7.
in the next game they will swap ends. And Ung will then get to experience this himself. It's all going a little wrong for Prannoy at the moment.
15, 7. Service over. 8, 15.
Well, 7 points clear, Tze Yong. How is he going to get back into this, Prannoy? Oh, wonderfully done, Tze Yong. He's looking sharp, isn't he?
Service over.
Yeah, that's a good angle.
16, 8.
Prannoy has played 149 first-round matches on the World Tour. He's won 97 of them. He's won his last 6 in a row.
Service
Last time he
over.
was eliminated
9,
in the opening round
16.
of a tournament was against Koda Naroka in the Singapore Open in June. Tze Yong has played in 27 first-round matches on the World Tour.
16. Play.
And he's lost just 1 of the last 7. That was in the Indonesia Open where he lost to Shiyu Chi, who was, well, number 6 at that point. Tough match. Took him to 3.
Service over. 17, 10.
He's maintaining this 7-point lead. It's out.
Service over. 11, 17.
Still very, very comfortable for him.
Yeah, super important that Prannoy gets a feel for the playing conditions here, hoping to get back in this match.
That's better from him.
17. Quick power only. Quick power only.
He's someone who's quite happy to graft away and drag this out. He's got tremendous fitness and endurance, Prannoy. And as things stand, Tze Yong in a very good position. That's clipping the net. He will gladly take it from Tze Yong.
18, 12.
Well, he's got a pretty good record against Malaysians in the opening round of tournaments, winning 10 out of 15. But it looks like this first game, he has to draw a line under it.
Oy. Yeah.
He's going to challenge.
Challenge from
Prannoy HS challenges call out.
A long, hard look at that screen now, hoping that he can get this overturned.
I think it was a little tentative call from the line judge that triggered him.
Oh, it's out.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining.
Might as well have a look at it.
Yeah.
20
this stage.
game point.
8
12.
game points for Prannoy.
Play.
Sorry, for Tze Yong against Prannoy.
Not long as well.
So, Tze Yong, it's been a brilliant first game from him. Prannoy perhaps finding it a little tough for those conditions. The good news is he gets to change ends now. First game goes to Tze Yong, 21-12.
ఇక్కడ వచ్చిన డ్రిబుల్ చేస్తే ఆయన కొంచెం లేట్ అయినా హైలైట్ కరెక్ట్గా ఆ డ్రిబుల్ చేసి కరెక్ట్ హై లిటరలీ హై లెటింగ్ గో బ్యాక్ ఆ టైం రావాలి అది కొట్టడానికి కానీ కదిలి ఆడుతున్నారు జస్ట్ కొంచెంసేపు అయిన తర్వాత దీన్ని గట్టిగా తిని అదొకటి రెడీ ఇంకోటి కదా అటే కొడుతుంది ఇంకో బయట కొట్టుకొని కొంచెంసేపు అది ఆపేసి
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
So, Steen, now that Prannoy's on this end, he can probably play a lot more freely, can't he?
Yeah, he can play much more freely and use the full court, and he can stand a little bit closer to the net because Tze Yong
Second
will
game.
have
Love 4.
trouble
Play.
playing the backcourt with confidence.
Service over. 1 love.
Well, that is the first time he's actually taken the lead here. Prannoy.
And we're going to see a game that probably going to see a game that unfolds a bit like the first game, with the person standing near this side, in this case Prannoy, controlling the game. In order to turn things around, Tze Yong would have to attack much more, but it's difficult and it's very energy consuming. That's a good one. Good net game.
Oh, great reactions.
Right. 3 love.
Much more of an all-action display from Prannoy now. Some great reactions here from Tze Yong. He's playing so much better, isn't he, Prannoy?
Love. Line judge.
Looks a lot happier with himself.
Tze Yong, show where.
That's a great start for Prannoy. Kind of a similar start to what Tze Yong had, as Steen had mentioned.
Thank you.
think, where do you think it's kind of gone,
Five,
you know, what has he
love.
done right for you, Prannoy, in terms of now sort of really playing to his fullest potential and his highest ranking?
Yeah, but you mean overall?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's found out what works for him.
Yeah.
Love.
How much practice. He's very concerned about his diet.
Okay.
And has a device on his left arm that constantly measures his blood sugar. I think it's
Service
covered
over.
by
1,
the strapping he
6.
has on his left shoulder now.
Right.
But that's it's constantly monitoring his blood sugar. So figuring out, at some point you feel like, hey, I need to practice more to get better, but then you might overdo it and get injured, and yeah, you can also get unlucky. He's been really unlucky with injuries.
Yes. Oh, it's a remarkable
Service over.
turnaround, and yeah, clear that the
7-1.
side of the
Line
court
judge. Line
having a
judge.
big impact.
Line judge.
And again, like we saw in the first game for Prannoy, for Tze Yong, it's important to get a feel for that far side of the court there, because there's a high possibility that he's going to finish the match on that side, and he's got to have a plan for what he wants to do.
Which makes it fascinating in that third game. If we go to a third game, which it could well do, as to the kind of the lead that you have in that interval before you swap ends, right?
Yeah. And the thing is, you basically play 4 different matches within the match, because you play a first game where you get used to the conditions on one side, and then you play a second game where you get used to the conditions on the other side. The first part of the third game, you play the conditions that you think you know, but your opponent is now doing a lot different.
Because he's got used to it.
Because he's got a better plan.
Yeah.
And the same goes for the fourth part, the last part of the third game. That's also going to be a totally new match, because they're switching ends again, and again, both have new plans for what they want to do.
He's absolutely dominating this second game, Prannoy. Only the second point he's won in this second game, Tze Yong. Stark contrast we're having in the 2 games thus far. Oh, that's good.
Service over. 10-2.
He's never got past the second round of this tournament, Prannoy. This might be his year.
Service over. 3-10.
This is his maiden China Open, Tze Yong. And Prannoy will stroll in to take a little quick break here at the interval. He's cruising the second game 11-3, but it's Tze Yong who took the first one. This is nicely balanced.
7-3. Play.
So now Tze Yong has a lot of work to do in the second game if he wants to finish us off in 2. What does Ung need to do for you, Steve, in this second game right now on that far end?
From a coaching perspective,
Yeah.
he needs to, from a coaching perspective, he needs to try and figure out a plan for the second part of the third game.
Already thinking that through. Okay.
Unless he
Service
wants to
over.
give it a shot and go for it and see if he can win it in straight games.
But that expends a lot of energy from a very, very big deficit, right?
Yeah, he's down 8 points here, so the chance of him making it against an opponent who is presumably at least the same level as he is, perhaps a little bit better. That's what the ranking and the results suggests.
Yeah.
So he needs to somehow get some confidence for the plan that he needs to play in the second part of the third game. But before that, he needs to think about the first part of the third game, where he plays the good end.
The other end, yeah.
Because Prannoy is going to come with a much more attacking style there.
Okay.
So it really is troublesome, and here we see his coach
Service
Tze Yong,
over. 5.
Who will be also formulating plans.
Yes.
What you're saying right now is what he's thinking right now.
And the question mark is whether they've discussed it in the interval.
Okay, we just had, yeah.
But I would, as a coach, be reluctant to, when you're down 11-2 at the interval, I would be reluctant to, given the playing conditions, I would be reluctant to ask and to play according to the future game plan, because I don't want to give it away.
Okay.
I don't want to give it away to Prannoy what we're going to do.
Okay.
What I'm trying to get the player
because
to do.
he would try to do that.
He would
now.
try to do that now. That would probably still lose him this second game.
Right. So why give it away then? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Understood.
And the good thing is, if he can sort of take the pace out of the match and score some easy points like here, 7-30. If he gets a few more easy points, then he's within striking distance. Then it's possible to try and finish it off in straight games.
Service over.
After a little run there from Ung, he trails by 7.
And from Prannoy's perspective, he also wants to win this second game as easy as possible.
Right.
Not necessarily with as big as margin as possible, but as easy as possible, because he knows that he's going to work really hard in the third game, and that's the same that Tze Yong has got to do.
So Ung, if he's thinking, well, this second game might be a write-off, he wants to
Play.
I guess, does he want to drag it out for a bit longer? Tire out?
Yeah, because you want to get a little bit feel for, that's a good play there. Because the net game is going to be very decisive in the third. Again, assuming there's going to be a third game, the net and the front court control is going to be absolutely crucial.
7.
Good deception there. Steals a split second from Tze Yong.
Yeah, that's all he needed. Prannoy up by 8. Yeah, very telling when you look at the sort of the scoring charts of the two games. Whoever's on this closer end has led from the start and just never looked back.
Yeah. I said in the opening phases of this match, I'm sorry if there was someone that I couldn't hear it. We had some technical problems here. But I said that it was a bit of a slow arena, and I might want to rethink that, because it seems like there is a rather significant drift. I thought it was a little bit less from what we've seen in the first 2 matches. The mixed doubles it's difficult to tell a lot from, but the women's singles, it looked like it was a slight drift. I think actually it's a little bit more severe.
More than that, yeah.
And the challenge for the players is that the 2 outer courts, this is court 1, it's in the middle of the arena, and the 2 outer courts very well have different playing conditions. So if you're winning your first 2 matches on one of the outer courts and then selected to play on the...
And you've not even had a chance to practice on it.
That's going to be challenging.
But that's the beauty of badminton, right?
Yeah, to some extent, I still feel that that playing a full game on the same side is a bit too much. I think we could change ends at the
at the interval of each game.
Yeah, because that's what we do in the 3rd game, and we're going to get a highly competitive 3rd game.
Sure.
So if we did that from the go, we would have 2 games that were really competitive. And if the players are almost equal, we would get a 3rd game that was also competitive.
And you I guess you negate the external influence, right?
Yes.
In a way?
Sorry?
Okay. You kind of negate it a little bit.
Yes.
Because everyone has a chance.
That's why in tennis you switch ends after 2.
After 2, yeah.
2, what's it called there? Games?
Games.
Service
Yeah.
over. 9.
Every odd game you change. Yeah.
Yes. And that's because, I mean, you know that the change can be significant. The full 7th tennis is... The sun can move a lot in that time, so you want to change. And ideally, if for instance, the 3rd game goes into extra points,
Tze Yong challenges
challenge here.
for
If it goes into extra points, there should be a change of ends again at, for instance, 25 or something like that.
That's to make it, again, to give that balance.
Yeah, because otherwise the flip of the coin is too decisive when the players are of equal playing strength.
It's tight, but it's in.
challenge unsuccessful.
So it's an unsuccessful
1
challenge.
remaining.
Yeah, some good ideas here,
Service
Steve.
over. 18-9.
And this match here,
Play.
advantage for Prannoy because he finishes on the better end. That's not saying that he's going to win. It's going to be a battle.
Yeah.
So
on how they manage that,
so it's
right?
going to be super interesting. But
10,
if I had
18.
to make a choice, I would go with the one finishing on the good side.
On the good side, better side, yeah. That would be Prannoy. Let's see. So he's getting the odd point here and there. Tze Yong.
18.
Remember, he won the first game 21-12.
Good smash here, and that's exactly what. That's the only thing that's sort of helping you on that far side of the court. And there's several things, but the smashes, they arrive a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But also you can recover from worse positions. If you're under a lot of pressure, you can still get it to the backcourt area, and that's what you try to utilize when you go all out.
So Prannoy moves to 19.
19-11.
Tapping the nets along the way. Nicely done by Prannoy. Sets up plenty of game points in hand here.
Yeah, well placed smash. Not a whole lot of power in it. Power really doesn't give you anything on the near side here. Placement is the key. Placement and angle if you can.
That's just out.
Service over.
Well, he moves up to 13 here, Tze Yong, so he's done a little better than Prannoy did in the last game.
Yeah, and that has absolutely no significance.
No.
This is what they have a term in American football, garbage time, and this is garbage time.
So it is Prannoy who comes through very comfortably.
21,
It's been comfortable for the player on this end, which makes this third game fascinating. We can't wait to see how that one pans out. 1-1 here between Prannoy and Ung.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
So Tze Yong has played against top 10 players 13 times before on the World Tour, and he's won 4 of them, but 2 of them have come in his last 2 matches, beating Jonathan Christie in the Australian Open recently in the second round, and Lo Kian Yu in the first round of the Japan Open. Can he make it 3 in a row
Final
here
game.
against Prannoy? We
Level
are
4.
talking of very, very
Play.
interesting conditions here at the Olympic Sports Center Gymnasium in Zhangzhou.
Service over. 1
And
love.
Steen mentioned earlier, it's all about now, Steen, in this first half of this third game, building up as big a lead as you can before the interval.
Yeah, and what he needs to do in Tze Yong is that he's going to attack. He's going to win the net, and then he's got to attack. Because if he doesn't attack, then Prannoy is going to do it.
Love.
Oh, you guessed that. Prannoy. High lift. Good shot.
Nicely done from Ung.
3
Yeah,
love.
calls from Tze Yong.
Pumped fist, and it's a similar sort of starts we've seen from everyone here on this side of the court. Very authoritative starts. It's Ung's turn now to enjoy these conditions. How will Prannoy counter that?
He's tying his shoelace.
Drag it out a little bit, Steve.
Time for some fast moving.
Let's see now. Attempted the flick serve. Nicely done there by Prannoy.
Service over. 1 3.
Not a good development for Eng, because the next time he's likely not to flick again, and Prannoy can focus on the low serve.
Oh, lovely from Prannoy.
2 3.
And it's a good example that you cannot afford to give the opponent a chance to attack you. It was a little bit too short, the clear from Eng.
Thank you.
So if both are playing the conditions well, we should basically see a low service from Eng and a little deception played into the front court from Prannoy, and then some battle where both players try to avoid lifting. If Eng is lifting, it's going to be reasonably flat. If Prannoy is lifting, it's going to be high to try and control the length. That's too high. There's the net battle.
Yes. After a great start on Tze Yong, Prannoy has battled back brilliantly. 3 in a row himself.
Yeah. And the problem we often see for players playing the near side now in the third game is that they think that they can play a little bit more patient because they can play the backcourt. But the opponents are coming, if they're coming with the right strategy, they're coming with a much more attacking strategy. So they can't do it. They will see it again.
Because of what they've learned from earlier.
Yeah, they haven't necessarily learned it, but they know that this is the right thing to do, and they only have to do it up until 11.
Until 11, right. The interval.
Except they actually have to do it again from 11 and onwards, because otherwise your opponent will do it. So it's crazy tough.
Which is why you were talking about 4 mini matches.
Yeah.
Within one.
Yeah.
Service over. 4-all.
Yeah, it's like a chess game, isn't it?
Let's see if he dares to flick again in Tze Yong. That would be a great. And here, who has the better touch of the net, who can put receptions on, who can have a little bit better control of his shots from the far side, who can actually still, who dares to play the backcourt still once in a while. That's going to be decisive. Deception, Prannoy.
There's only one way that was going to end. He's looking quite confident at the moment, quite happy with things. Opens up a 2-point cushion here.
And back in, I think it was back in 2017, he played the Indonesia Open. It wasn't played in Senayan that year because it was being remodeled for the Asian Games, so it was played at the Congress Center, and the drift was severe there. Normally Estonia is drifty, but the Congress Center, there was a storm warning there, and Prannoy he beat Lee Chong-wei, and I think it was Chen Long he also beat on that occasion before he lost the final.
Service over. 5-6.
Beat Ginting in the first round, Lee Chong-wei in the second, and Chen Long in the third round, and eventually lost out to Kazumasa Sakai in the semi-final, and Shrikant went on to win the title that year. But that means that Prannoy has the knowledge on how to do this. And though she is an Indian men's single, but coached by Taufik Kayat's former coach, Murio Handoyo, who's now back in India in Guwahati as coach in the Center of Excellence there.
So what would, ideally from Tze Yong's point of view, Steen, I know he's trailing at the moment, but what kind of lead would he be wanting to have going into the interval?
11-7.
Okay, so 4 points he would want. That's quite the turnaround he needs now.
6 points.
He needs to be 11-7 up, you think?
Yes.
Okay, so he needs to win the next 6 in a row.
I think so.
That's it's a big ask here. Let's see how he fares.
Good shot.
There's one down.
Service over. 6-7.
And if you flick here in the third game, you've got to be ready in the defense. Small deceptions in the net game, super important. There's the deception.
Oh,
Service
frustration
over.
for Ung.
8-6.
But remember, he gets to go on the other end and then start to create problems for Prannoy. Really is going to be interesting to see what the score at the interval is. Playing well.
It's the wrong choice from Tze Yong, and that he falls into the trap of thinking, okay, I can still play the backboard. No, you can't, because your opponent's going to attack, so you've got to play a flat recovery shot. It's basically like playing a doubles one-on-one.
Right. Well, in that sense,
Service over. 7.
probably been the first
9.
moment this third game where Prannoy's gone long, if I recall.
Yeah. Great shot.
Wonderfully done, Prannoy.
Variation.
Service over. 10-7.
Good shot.
Look to play that a little late. And
11.
Steen talked about 11-7. He was saying that's what Tze Yong would have wanted, but it's Prannoy who has the 4-point lead going into the interval here in game 3. So we go into the final part of this game now. And it looks, in theory, Steen, to be
Play.
an uphill struggle for Tze Yong, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Interesting to see if he can get on the attack here. Good shot.
Service over. 8-11.
It's good.
Service over. 12-8.
Won the Malaysia Masters this year. Prannoy beat Wong Hong Yang and then lost to the same opponent in the Australian Open recently. bided his time there, Tze Yong, but Prannoy was waiting to pounce. He's got a very healthy 5-point lead here. It's an opponent, Tze Yong, who's not yet won on the World Tour. Must have a Commonwealth Games singles medal to his name from 2022.
Play.
Has won a number of titles at the International Challenge Series level. This is where he wants to make his mark.
Defense, fantastic defense.
That is a brilliant point for Tze Yong. Hung in there, fantastic reflexes. That is a point that Prannoy thought he would have been favourite to win.
Show where.
Tze Yong stuck it out.
Sometimes rallies like this can be momentum changes.
Yeah.
Create some uncertainty with one player and some confidence with the other, some hope.
Let's see now how has that been a turning point perhaps for Tze Yong? Let's see.
Play.
Excellent.
2 in a row.
13.
And knowing that it's difficult for Prannoy to play it all the way to the back line when he's out of position there in the backhand. Yes, he's playing up against the drift, so a chance taken by him. He's there at the net, doesn't move away.
11.
Brilliant.
13.
3 in a row, and that decent lead that Prannoy had has been whittled down to just 2.
Play.
Probably see Prannoy play the backcourt fairly early in this rally here.
Oh, it's just out.
And I think we certainly saw a little bit of sideways drift right to left there.
13.
Spotted on the lift from Tze Yong.
4 points in a row for Tze Yong. He's right back in this. What a third game this is turning out to be. The closest we've had so far. Oh, this has been brilliant from Tze Yong.
13 all.
5 in a row. He's level now with Prannoy.
And reading the shots of Prannoy really well. Yes, and moving a little bit backwards, sensing that his net shot was good enough.
He'd be absolutely delighted. He's finally ended that run. Prannoy, it's taken a while, hasn't it? It was a good little spell there for Tze Yong. Just in front. This could go either way, Steve. This is, from a neutral point of view, it's perfect, isn't it? It's what you want.
It could go either way, but it's not equally likely.
No. Prannoy, you'd favour him at the moment, wouldn't you?
Yes. But he lost that rally there where Tze Yong played so brilliantly defensively. And
you called that a pivotal, potentially pivotal moment, didn't you?
possibly, yeah. he's got to maintain the control of the net. Tze Yong, I think Prannoy got a little bit too comfortable, and then a little bit of self-confidence injection with the Malaysian, and good read, some good shots at the net.
Yeah.
And Prannoy couldn't really play the full court. He tried to, but Eng read it brilliantly, and it took him 3-4 rallies to sort of open up the court so there was space at the net again. So the only possibility for Eng is to go even sharper at the net. Possibly
return the
once
shuttle.
in a while use the backboard of Prannoy. It could be a lift from his backhand side, perhaps a flat lift.
Return the shuttle. Return
Using
the
the
shuttle.
cross, the diagonal, where
It's
there's a
okay.
little bit extra length.
Play.
Long break between points, and he's still asking for help
Play.
here, assistance.
Already mobbed.
He's been told to do it himself. He's not happy,
here.
and he's still having long discussions.
Already mobbed.
Yeah,
Already mobbed.
can
And
understand.
can use. Yes.
concerned. To bring his towel to do it. He's a badminton player, not a breakdancer.
Look, the cynical might suggest some gamesmanship going on here.
No, I don't think so. I think we've seen over the last couple of years that there has been some slippery surfaces.
Yeah.
And it's quite warm in the arena, so I think there's a lot of perspiration from the players. Reception again here, Tze Yong.
14-15.
Look at that. Stealing time from Prannoy.
He had to think about that. And Tze Yong's still not happy with the conditions on the court.
You should show it.
Umpires asking him to indicate where he's not happy.
Yeah, you can see both his knees and his hands are on the floor there.
Check.
$15 all
Check.
here.
Check. Is it okay?
That's a
Thank
really,
you.
really good comeback by Eng.
A reminder again that it was 13-8. So here's one. Seven of the last 9 points.
Service over.
Both players playing that well.
15.
Eng was where he needed to be, but simply too good a shot from Prannoy. It seems like it had its top point on his side of the court and then was diving all the way. It was impossible for Eng to do anything.
Yeah, he's not quite able to
Service over.
That's,
insert himself.
that's due to the resilience of this man here. He's made it difficult for Prannoy, and no matter how this match goes, I think Eng has a lot to take away from it in terms of development.
put away there by Prannoy.
Service over. 17-16.
The 4 players ranked in the top 5 that he has beaten previously. We mentioned Jonathan Christian, Lo Kian Yu. He's also beaten Cho Chen Chen at the Thailand Open early this year. And as you will recall, Steve, has also beaten Victor Axelsen at the All England in the second round.
Oi, fantastic reactions.
Oh, he almost got it.
Service over. 17-all.
Great work there. He's just hanging in there, isn't he? Tze Yong.
He won't go away.
As I mentioned, some of those names he's beaten, we know he can do it.
He's defending himself well.
He is. Oh.
Service over.
Hung into the net, frustration for him. Prannoy just in front. So 3 away from wrapping this up. Prannoy, but you feel he's going to have to scrap very, very hard for those 3 points if he wants to win this. Tze Yong must be a real pest in that sense.
Play.
One of the things that becomes important now is almost all squares on each side of the court. The rallies are played. Where do you have your preferred side in terms of net game, attacking and defense?
Service over. Line judge. Line judge. Line judge.
Yeah, we need to have the court mark again with the line judges. Attention to some of the things.
He's mesmerised by this game so far. This is his 3rd game, Steve.
Yeah, we have the referee delivering extra shovels to the service judge. I think this would get the attention of the linesman.
Well, he's done a great job so far, Tze Yong. To make things very, very tough for his opponent.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Tze Yong edges in front. Oh, this is really fascinating.
Play. Play. No spread throwing. You can use your clothes.
He's been having quite this this battle with the umpire throughout this match. What a time for him to take the lead.
Inside.
Well, well, well. 2 match points for Tze Yong.
Take the shuttle first.
It's been a joust between umpire and player.
Quick power only.
2 match points. He hadn't had the lead since he was 3-2 up very, very early on in this game. Tze Yong, but he took it at 19-18. And now he has 2 match points here.
Wait, that's brilliant.
What a win here, Tze Yong. How he's turned this around, Steve.
He's got momentum on his side. He went for it, took his chances. I think Prannoy fell down a little bit in intensity when he was leading by 5.
Remember, he had a nice, healthy 5-point lead. And it was that pivotal point, wasn't it? We talked about how that could have been a turning point for him.
Yes.
And that defending that he did, defending for his life. And that looks to have been a pivotal moment for Tze Yong. Delight for the Malaysian. He looked to be down and out. He was trailing at the interval, remember. And it was all looking very nice for Prannoy. But it's Tze Yong of Malaysia who beats the Indian Prannoy HS 21-12, 13-21, 21-18, and that's been completed in 66 minutes. So this is how things look on court 1 at the moment. 3 matches done and dusted. Quite the marathon there between Tze Yong and Prannoy. How will the 4th one go? It's women's singles. Tze Yong of China takes on Thailand's Busanan Ongbakurupan. Brackets, the reward for winning this match. We're taking on a player from Chinese Taipei, either Pai Yipo or the 4th seed, Tze Yong. So here's Tze Yong, comes out first. And then Busanan. Last meeting between these two. Busanan also asking for a little bit of a wipe down that we saw Tze Yong asking for in the last match.